get started with the next chapter. Chapter 25, Summer Vacation and the rest of August 2001. The week before Erica was sent to go to Japan, she gave Theodore an update. She's feeling much better after Shannon's acupuncture treatment. However, if anything changes, she will update him. Next, she packed her suitcase after she bought an extra copy of Diane Shepperson Mill's book about how she used nutrition to complement her Western medicine treatment of it for endometriosis. She went over her checklist several times. She made certain to pack her VHS tape and DVD of her revised play at the university, at the private university, because, let me specify. She also made sure to pack anti-motion sickness medicine in her carry-on bag. After going over her checklist a few more times, she went over her Dalma doll, then she retired. On Friday morning, Michael drove her to the airport. After thanking him for the ride, she checked in. He went outside the airport and stayed until he saw her jet plane take off. As soon as she arrived safely at the airport in Osaka, it was already Sunday. She texted Michael that she had arrived safely. He texted back okay and went back to sleep. Once she went through customs to get registered as a temporary immigrant, she went to the baggage pickup area. She met up with Theodore's father. After she put her suitcase in her hotel room, they had dinner at a local restaurant, made some small talk. Though he offered to take her to a local bathhouse, she politely declined, saying it was that time of the month. So she returned to her hotel room. After she took a shower in her room, she blow-dried her hair, brushed, flossed her teeth. Then she retired. The next morning on Monday, Mr. Alloway and Erica went to Japan's Endometriosis Association. After they introduced themselves, they educated Erica about how Japan treats patients who are diagnosed. Although Erica is 100% Japanese, she was born outside the country and never lived in that country. As a result, she knew that it's not her place to judge how Japan does things. However, she was disappointed they used surgery to diagnose and treat this medical condition. Excuse me. At this time, they gave her a copy of their gynecologic and obstetric investigation journals from 1998, 1999, and 2001. I actually have a copy of these in my room, which is why I specified this. These contain research journal articles that were presented at the first, second, and third, and fourth conference on endometriosis at Hakone Prince Hotel in Kanagawa, Japan. Much to her relief, they were translated to English so she can read them. She made a mental note to bring them with her to the clinic so they can go over the literature together. After she thanked them for the literature, she gave them an extra copy of Diane Shepperson Mill's book. She carefully explained that Japan uses food as medicine, such as various types of mushrooms, miso, fermented soybean paste, natto, and fermented soybeans, and probiotic drinks such as Yakult. She carefully asked them to consider researching how various Japanese food might help patients who have this medical condition. She asked them to consider looking for a different way to diagnose this medical condition. Understandably, they did not give her a straight answer. However, they told her that they'll refer her considerations to their experts. After they talked some more, she thanked them for the time. Once she bowed to them, she excused herself. At this time, she thanked Mr. Alloway for introducing her to this group. He nodded. The next day, they used the public train system to travel to her mom's fishing village. After she put her suitcase into her Akia, she walked to her grandmother's house to help her aunts make dinner. En route, she saw the cat that Mr. Alloway showed her in his Polaroid photo. Almost immediately, one of her uncles told her that the cat is skittish and avoids people. However, as soon as the cat saw Erica, the cat walked up to Erica. Erica immediately knelt down to the cat's level. The cat put its right paw on her left knee and stared at Erica intently. Erica felt as though this cat was saying to her, "Shinjite kudasai," trust me. She also felt as though this cat said, "Boku ni makasete kudasai," leave it to me, or I've got this. After she replied, "Arigatou gozaimasu," this is a formal way to say thank you very much. The cat meowed. Then the cat resumed walking to her parents' Akia. When Erica's uncles relayed this exchange to the other uncles and aunts, everyone replied, "Fushigi," curious. After dinner, Erica brought her VHS tape and DVD copies of her play that she had produced during her first year at the university. As they watched her cousins translate it to their uncles, aunts, they immediately knew that this was the play that got her into the university. They also saw exactly where the play was revised for the final product. After the closing credits, they clapped their hands, wished her continued luck in her studies. Then she walked back to her Akia. At this time, she heard footsteps and knew that they were Kalu's. Erica carefully told Kalu that their mother was only 20 years old when she got engaged to their father. Kalu gasped and covered their mouth. Erica added, "We must not make the same mistake. Don't be in a rush to marry your future business partner. Make sure they completely know who they are and what they want out of your business partnership. Don't let their parents pressure you into hurry up and get married so they can get married next." Calder nodded. After Calder took a deep breath, they said that next year they'll be 18 years old. Mr. Alloway told them that they must choose which citizenship they would keep and which they would discard. As a result, they will go to San Francisco next spring to file necessary paperwork. They also need to do this so they won't have to pay income tax for both countries. Erica nodded. Calder added that their father still thinks that they will someday return to the United States. Erica shook her head in disbelief. Calder concluded saying that Erica won't need to go to Japan next year as a result. Erica nodded. With that, Calder excused themselves, and Erica walked the rest of the way home. On the next day, Erica woke up early to help her aunts and female cousins work on their grandmother's fields in the mountains. On the way there, Mr. Alloway caught up with them. He said that something's come up and he has to leave immediately. As a result, one of her uncles would take her to the airport. Erica wished him a safe trip. He nodded, then excused himself. That evening, Erica carefully unpacked the rest of her suitcase and carefully gave her mother and Calder the family photo albums. They gasped and covered their mouth. They had completely forgotten about it. After they asked about the rest of the belongings, Erica replied that Agnes is keeping them in a separate duplex. They asked Erica to store it elsewhere so they can sell that house. Erica nodded. At this time, she made a mental note to talk to Agnes. After they thanked Erica for bringing them all the way from the United States. They exchanged in small talk. Then it was time for everyone to retire. Erica returned to her Akia. She took a long hot bath and she was tired. The rest of the vacation was uneventful. She could tell that Alcalde had completely turned into a made in Japan Japanese person. Her mother was well on her way to becoming the person she once was. However, her father was fighting the winds that would change him into a made in Japan Japanese man. In the evenings, Erica resumed working on her play. The night before she was returned to the United States, she cleaned up the entire IKEA as best she could. Her aunt came with some more handmade outfits in a cloth bag with period underwear. Erica thanked her aunt for her generosity in thinking about her. However, then she carefully told her aunt that she needs to make sure that everything she owns can fit into her car when she makes the permanent move back to San Francisco. As a result, she carefully asked her aunt to only give her underwear. Although her aunt didn't understand exactly what Erica was saying, she respected Erica's need to limit what she brings back to the States. After Erica took a long hot bath, she retired. The next morning, her uncle took her to the airport. After she thanked him for taking her there, he went outside, stayed there until her plane took off. Upon arriving at San Francisco, she called her uncle, told him that she had arrived safely. When she got to the luggage counter, she texted Michael. He texted back saying that he's on his way there. After he got her... Let me go get some more coffee. Okay. After he got her suitcase and carry-on, she went to the passenger side door and saw a newspaper on the seat. After she sat down, she saw the cover page and gasped. The matriarch of the Murphy family had passed away. The funeral was that coming Sunday. Michael carefully told Erica that he'll take her to the department store to get her an appropriate outfit. She nodded. After they got her outfit and she paid for it... Excuse me. They returned to the fitness center clinic. At the front desk of both businesses, she had a photograph of the matriarch with a sign asking the clients and patients to respect their need for privacy and to not discuss her passing. Then they used the elevator to get to the top floor of the apartment. Based on the news article, she had passed away soon after Erica went on the trip. However, since she is a pillar of the community, her funeral had to be pushed back, so local, state, and national politicians can make adjustments to their respective schedules to attend her funeral. Also, she was one of the last known survivors of the 1906 earthquake, so the family needed extra time to give her a proper farewell. The next morning, she looked at her Danama doll. She wasn't surprised that the eye she had filled in was now a white circle. The fishing village cat had told her to trust him, so she carefully thought about a new wish. It was obvious that working at the new clinic alone would be enough for her to live the rest of her life in San Francisco. So she wished that her project at the studio would give her additional income that she needs. Much to her relief, when she refilled that white circle with black ink, it filled in. Her Danama doll now has one eye filled in once again. She wiped the whiteboard. Rather than rewrite her Give me a second. Next, she wiped her whiteboard. Rather than rewrite her original goal, she wrote down possible projects for the studio after she graduates from university. Documentary about indigenous Californians with a focus on how they treat members of the community who are two-spirits. And documentary about the history of Japanese Hawaiian men, as there is already a book about 3 generations of Japanese American women, a la Mei Nakano's book titled Japanese American Woman, 3 Generations, 1890 to 1990. That Saturday, Erica and Michael spent the day walking around Golden Gate Park. She carefully told him at some point she needs to talk to Agnes about moving her family stuff out of the demo duplex in her parents' neighborhood. It's not right to prevent them from selling that unit. If the passing of the matriarch, she will have to wait for the right time to bring it up. He nodded. On Sunday morning, they got up extra early to prepare. They started by making and eating breakfast. After they cleaned the kitchen dining area and freshened up, Michael drove them to the Catholic Church on Mission Street. It's a beautiful Irish-inspired church. Since Michael and Erica aren't a Catholic, they stood in the back. Since most attendees aren't regulars, the priest started with a brief history of the church, starting with 1850. After the 1906 earthquake, the church was badly damaged and services were temporarily held in a nearby street. A new church was built to replace that one. The architecture is that of the Alt Gothic revival. The vaults were ribbed, the arches are pointed, the central nave and 2 sides are lower height. The marble will have colors of Ireland, green, white, and gold. And the stained glass windows reflect the country's 32 counties. The funeral. Oh yeah. One of the things that I do, I go church hopping. Some people go bar hopping. I go church hopping. And I have gone through several Catholic churches in my hometown and nearby. So yeah, this is basically specific to San Francisco. Some of you who've been to San Francisco probably know which church I'm referring to. So yeah, it is beautiful. I've never actually been to this specific church, but yeah, if any of you ever go to San Francisco, look for the Catholic Church on Mission Street. You'll know which one I'm talking about. Anyway, the funeral was as close to a state funeral as the city usually sees. The priest went to the introductory rites, a couple of liturgies, a couple of rituals. Finally, there was a eulogy by the eldest daughter, the matriarch. Other local politicians also gave their eulogy. Each one gave a respectful description of how the matriarch was the pillar of the community and will be greatly missed. The service concluded with a procession to the matriarch's final resting place. The entire service had quiet music in the background to express faith and find comfort. The next 2 weeks, Erica helped out the clinical studio as well as provide them with extra emotional support. She was going to just drive back down to Santa Clara. However, this is an unprecedented turn of events. As a result, Erica and Michael stayed until a Saturday before university resumed classes. During these additional weeks, she stayed in San Francisco. She kept Kim updated on her health. When she still feels off, however, she realized that Western medicine could only do so much. When she got blood work and updated MRI scan, they did not show anything in particular. However, Shannon immediately noticed something is off and knew how to use acupuncture needles that helped her feel better. Kim said that she relayed the message to Paydar. Kim also asked Erica to stay in touch. Erica nodded. That Saturday, they put all their boxes back in their respective cars. Next, they thoroughly cleaned their respective rooms and private bathroom. Right before they left, they gave the key cards to Elmo since he's the most senior of the clinic staff and they knew that Shannon needed her privacy. Then Michael drove his car behind Erica to make certain that she's protected all the way back to Santa Clara. At their new apartment, they went through the security gate by paging the property manager. After the manager unlocked the front gate, they drove through, went to the manager's office. At the front desk, they saw the same photograph and same message as the clinic and studio. The manager had them sign new rental agreement form after they signed it and paid August rents. The manager gave each of them a new key card. Then they went to the new apartment. After they parked their car, they started moving in. Devin and Jennifer had already moved in. So they helped each other move in. Medical was not surprised that the 5th room was still vacant. As a result, Erica held off going through the apartment rules and setting up the cleaning schedule for now. At this time, Michael asked everyone if it would be alright for him to put its portable training equipment in the shared living room. He'll make sure to keep them out of the way. Much to his relief, they approved. He told them to let him know if they get annoying. He'll gladly move them back to his room. Then he proceeded to move his equipment to the living room. Once all the boxes were in the room, Erica went to the manager's office to help with data entry, filing, and offering emotional support. Same as the year before, about 60% of the apartment was checked in. She surmised that the remaining 40% would probably check in the following month. That's when the private university will reopen for the new academic year. On Sunday, Erica and Michael went to the Buddhist temple in San Jose for services. Afterward, they went to the apartment to resume unpacking. At this time, she printed out the academic calendars of both universities, posted on the corkboard that it was in the shared living room. After dinner, Erica took a short bath in case anyone else needed to use the bathroom. She blow dried her hair in her room. Once she brushed her teeth, she packed her backpack with school supplies and she retired. The next day, she resumed attending the public university. The first week was busy with new classes, the new classmates, and setting up new set of study groups. By the end of the week, she felt run down. It was more than a couple of weeks, so it couldn't have been jet lag. Based on Perdo's advice, she needs to document each time she feels unwell. That way, the specialist would take her concerns seriously, so she went to the University Students' Health Center. They gave her a once-over and told her that nothing's wrong. When she returned to the front desk, she carefully asked the clerk to print out the doctor's note. When she returned to her apartment, she put the print on her desk. It was a bit disappointing. However, she did remember what happened to Glenna. It's better to do nothing than to intervene and make things worse. On the other hand, she wondered what she needs to do to get blood work ordered. However, she can't just get an order. The doctor has to authorize it. She was in a conundrum. At this time, she realized that Michael stayed calm throughout the entire funeral. That Saturday, when she and Michael ran errands, she went to a local music store, got her own CD player with headphones, bought a set of albums. From then on, whenever she was studying, she popped one of Enya's music and played it. Much to her relief, the background music was exactly what she needed to ground herself and push forward. A couple of days before the end of September, Erica dropped off her rent check at the new property manager's office. The next evening, she processed the copies of the rent checks and the birthday cards for all the residents who were going to have their birthday in September. After dinner, she resumed study with the Enya music in the background, and she retired. So, any questions, comments, constructive criticisms, let me know, and I apologize for clearing my throat several times. I'll see about, maybe it's just morning. Just morning, my throat is just like, But anyway, questions, comments, constructive criticisms, asking for clarification, let me know, and I shall see you next time. Take care.